Hi everyone, really excited about today's presentation or story, if you will. So if you want to double your implant cases, this is going to be the proven process. Now, before we kind of jump into things, you got to think about who's already doubling your implant cases. Who's the person or who is the role model that is where you want to be. And so right now, that would be ClearChoice. ClearChoice, for those of you who don't know, is a dental marketing, or excuse me, dental implant placing company. They do everything A to Z from implants. They have 71 centers. They're part of Aspen Dental. So these guys are the leaders in the industry for placing implants. So they've already gone ahead of you. They've already figured out what works, what doesn't, and already kind of made the mistakes for you. And all you need to do is model them. So kind of setting the story right up front, this, excuse me, this is kind of the scenario we're in right now. ClearChoice has 71 centers. They have had over 90,000 patients, 90,000 people that have gotten implants just from their centers alone. So this is really the situation that most of you guys are in right now. One thing I do want to note here is, for those of you who aren't familiar with this picture, this is obviously David and Goliath. So biblical story of David, who was a shepherd boy, and this 10-foot tall Philistine, this guy named Goliath, was going to destroy Israel and yada, yada, yada. You guys can look up the story if you want to. But the key thing is it's the classic underdog story. So a little bit more about ClearChoice here. And before I jump into ClearChoice, what is going to be the stone? What's going to actually get you to compete with ClearChoice, get you to get in front of their potential patients, excuse me, and actually win them over instead of ClearChoice taking those patients. One thing I want to note, ClearChoice is an amazing company. If you're not a dentist watching this, I am not saying you shouldn't go with them. I think they're a wonderful company. Just a legal footnote there. Don't want any lawsuits coming my way. So who is ClearChoice? So as I said, they've worked with over 90,000. Those are implant patients. Those aren't run-of-the-mill patients. Open for 15 years, 71 centers, and a part of Aspen Dental. So truly one of the leaders in the implant industry. So this is probably where you're at. You think about David. He was this shepherd boy. You probably only placed. Now, maybe some of you are further along than this, but for my clients, this is kind of where I find the majority of them to fall under. They want to obviously place more implants. They haven't had much experience in doing so. Maybe they just got their training done. They've worked with various marketing companies. They kind of feel alone on the battlefield. I'm sorry, I just like to jump back to this analogy. But maybe you feel alone in marketing your practice, in feeling like you have to move all the levers, you have to push all the buttons in order to make things happen. You want to ultimately just find something that works. You want to find, doesn't matter what it is, as long as you have people coming in, you place some more implants, it's a win-win. And of course, you want to find a system that you can trust, something that's already proven. And the beauty of this is, as I said, ClearChoice has already gone before you. They've already showed you the way. You just need to follow in their footsteps, if you will. So getting a little more into the tactical side, these are Goliath's weapons, if you will. So first we have the lead system, how they're actually generating the leads, the appointments, and then when they get those appointments, how are they closing them? So right now we're going to break down not only just the lead system, again, how they're generating those appointments, but what does their sales process look like for the closing system? So in terms of the lead system, they're marketing to cold traffic, meaning people that aren't familiar with them, who don't even know them, on Facebook and on Google. Unfortunately, I don't have any ClearChoice centers advertising in my region. I could get a VPN, click around and just kind of hope they are advertising in different places. But their process would look very similar to this on Google. Instead of pictures, you would have just text and then leading to this page here. Anyway, kind of looking at things from a 30,000 foot view. These are some of the ClearChoice ads on Facebook. We're going to dive into these here in a little bit. And this is a screenshot of their YouTube page. They have incredible examples They actually just kind of stored all their marketing footage on YouTube. So it's, excuse me, have a little bit of a cold here. Great opportunity for you to kind of go through some of their ads, see what they're doing, the content they're producing, and why. And then obviously when someone's interested in this ad, they're going to click book me now, and then it's going to send them over to their website, and they're going to come and see this page. There's a lot of things going on this page. I'm going to dive into that here in a little bit. So first, to start off with their YouTube page, great content that you can go through. Notice how it's a lot of stories. It's really focused. It's patient focused content. It's not come in for a free consult, and it's not this cartoon of what the implant center wants, but it's looking at it from the patient's perspective. What's their end goal in mind? It's to be able to eat foods that they haven't been able to eat, and to be confident when they're smiling. So these are some great stories that you can come and check out. And they also have really good infographics of why you want to get implants over dentures. So good content there. I'll have a link to their YouTube channel in the description. When it comes to Facebook, one thing you want to recognize is look how many ads they're actually running, or not ads that they're running, but look at the amount of creatives. Creatives is just a fancy word for picture or video when it comes to advertising. You think about a typical dental office maybe having 1, maybe 2 videos at most. ClearChoice has tons of them. I'll have a link where you can find all their ads that they're currently running. This is just a couple. They had a whole page of more videos featuring some more stories that they have here, as well as a carousel and infographic-esque creatives. So that's one thing to keep in mind that they're doing is they're testing a lot of different creatives. They're not relying on one single video that they hope resonates with people, or they hope goes viral. Right now we're going to look at an example of this video here. Very, very powerful. Let's take a look. I'm going to switch screens real quick and we'll watch it. So this is ClearChoice's ad account on Facebook. As you can see, they have tons of ads, great examples of what they're trying to test for. They're trying different, these are called carousel ads. They're trying just pictures, different videos. But right now I want us to react to one of the patient testimonials, if you will.
Okay. Oh my God. I'm sorry.
And I've seen this several times before, but just imagine just putting yourself in the patient's shoes right now. You're scrolling on Facebook and you see this. You see a woman that obviously just got new teeth, or I guess you wouldn't know if it's her face or something else. But just seeing her reaction to getting new teeth, this is obviously very compelling.
I'm sorry.
Very emotional. It gets you to stop scrolling, gets you to pay attention and want to learn more. So if you're already in the market for getting implants and you see this, odds are you're going to be a lot more likely to, at least scan the copy, read the headline, maybe check out what they have to offer. So let's say someone was interested in that ad itself and they clicked the book now button, they would be brought to this page here. So ClearChoice is doing a couple different things. First, they're kind of vetting the patient on why they want to come in. This honestly is more for just the patient to solidify why they actually need this treatment in the first place. So to bring up the feeling of, why they need an implant in the first place, if it's to, feel more confident, they obviously have to consciously think of this as they're selecting the box. So this even subconsciously just reminds them of why they're doing this in the first place. And it gets them more likely to, find a center that's close to them and to actually choose a date and time. Another great thing they do here is they schedule directly on the site. I highly recommend, for those of you who don't have LocalMed, to, I don't get paid for saying that. LocalMed seems to be the best system that they have for booking appointments. If you have some other online booking software, that's great as well. But something that's convenient for someone to find an available appointment as they're already in this headspace of seeing an incredible reaction like this and then choosing an appointment. You think about most dentists, what they do is just have either at this point they just have like a phone number. It's going to be difficult, especially if they found your ad at 11 p.m. the only time they can really schedule an appointment because they're busy throughout the rest of the day. Long story short, having the ability to book directly into your schedule from the internet is critical. All right, so now that we looked at how ClearChoice generates leads, let's look at the closing system. So a few key things here. I just pulled this off their website. This is their front-facing way of explaining how they have the follow-up process. Full disclosure, I haven't been to a ClearChoice clinic. Sure, if I did so, maybe did an undercover mission. I gotta be careful what I say on YouTube. Don't want any, like I said, don't want any lawsuits. I love ClearChoice. They're a great company. Please don't sue me. If you guys want maybe more info want me to do more research on this closing system, just send me either an email or just leave a comment in the comment section below. But anyway, this is what they show on their website for their follow-up process. So a few key things I want to highlight in each step of this process. First, with step 1, it says meet your implant team. Looks like what ClearChoice does is they actually have a concierge that follows you around leads you into each stage of the process. This really helps just with customer service, especially when it comes to being a dentist. If your waiting period is too long in the waiting room, obviously you're going to get worse reviews because people are more, not only maybe more anxious, but it's just not as convenient for them. So it looks like ClearChoice does a good job at having someone to kind of chaperone you around. This helps build rapport with you and ClearChoice and is a great way for just them to have a better customer service system. That's what I want to mention in the first step. In the second step, what they do a great job of is really tailoring or making the situation unique to that individual. So one great thing that salespeople do is even if they've done the plan 100 times, is they really customize or at least give the impression of tailoring a plan or customizing a plan to the individual's unique circumstances. Now, I'm not saying that ClearChoice is doing this like they're not manipulating people in any way. Obviously, when it comes to implants, it's going to be different if someone needs 2 or 3 or maybe even a full arch. But they do a great job at making the unique situation clear right up front. So that's what I wanted to point out here. Another thing I want to point out on step 3 is their pricing structure or schedule. Now, my guess is they actually don't sit down with the implantologist or the dentist when they're talking about pricing. My guess is they talk with the implant team, which is really just a salesperson that's able to handle those objections of let me think about it, or let me talk to my wife, or those common objections that people give when it comes to a decision like this. Odds are they're doing training on handling objections, on making sure that it's presented in the right way in terms of the information, the pricing, using like anchoring, having a premium price and different packages. So this obviously is going to be drilled down to a T. Unfortunately, like I said, I don't have that information right up front. If you guys want me to do more research, I will. Just let me know. But that's what I want to point out for step number 3. All right, so what can you do to replicate their systems that are already working? Well, first, what I encourage you to do is look at their creative. Figure out what it's going to take for you to put together at least 1 or 2 videos that have a compelling story, compelling creative that's going to get someone to stop scrolling on Facebook, actually get their attention, and to sign up for an appointment. This is critical because if you master the closing system but no one comes in, then you're not going to place any implants. And then for the closing system, make sure you have better follow-up. So better customer service, not having someone wait in the waiting room for too long, really looking at what you're doing to present the actual case to them. Do you have different pricing packages depending on what material the implant is made out of? Are you positioning it in a certain way that makes it appealing or a no-brainer to someone? A lot of the implantologists out there have actually really good prices, but the way they present it makes the patient feel skeptical because they just name their best price right up front instead of looking at some of the other options in the area, kind of putting together a pricing package for them saying, hey, this is what they're charging down the street. This is what it's going to look like. Maybe even if you don't have those actual numbers, having estimates, just something for the patient to know that they have enough information to make a decision and that you are obviously the best option on that list. So mastering these two different systems is going to be critical for you doubling the amount of implants you place. Now let's look at what the actual stone is. What is your competitive advantage over ClearChoice? It's being personal. Just like any franchise, ClearChoice isn't a franchise, but for any business that's easily replicated, they have very clear systems, very clear ways of doing things. The way you stand out is being different and actually being something that they can't replicate. So they obviously can't replicate your expertise, your personality when it comes to your marketing. So what I mean by this is on the lead system, make sure you have videos of yourself explaining maybe potential questions to ask your potential implant provider, having these personal touches of you, why you guys stand out amongst the other options in the area will help you ultimately. So make sure you go back, look at some of those ads that they were running, look at their YouTube channel, get some ideas for what they're doing well, and then how you can add your own personal touch to it to really separate yourself from them. A good way to think about this is if you and ClearChoice were advertising side by side, what would it look like for someone to pick your video over theirs or click on your link over theirs? A great way of figuring out how you can stand out amongst not only ClearChoice, but other dentists in your region. So these are some of the keys that I mentioned before. Having great service, customer service in the first part, make sure there's low wait times in the waiting room, that they're always with someone or they can easily ask questions during the process of the free consultation. The second part, make sure it's tailored. So when you present your case, when you get x-rays from them, it's not a cookie cutter case, it's their specific case just for them. And then in the third step, make sure you have multiple price points or you're presenting the information in a way that's compelling. And what I mean by this is you're not presenting the information in a way that's misleading or you're not trying to trick someone. But if you know you're the best person in your region for placing implants, if you know that you're going to do a much better job than ClearChoice, that's going to come out in the way you present the information. That's going to come out in your certainty when you're actually talking about prices. Giving the patient more information in terms of the other price points out there, that will just help them get over the objection of, I don't have enough information to make a decision, because they don't know. They don't know if, $22,000 for, half an arch is good or bad. They don't have any prior knowledge of it. So providing that information right then and there will help them make that decision on the spot. And then when it comes to actually being personal in the closing system, if you're the one that's walking them through this entire process, if you're answering all the questions that they have, that's going to go a long way, especially if someone's already been to a consultation at ClearChoice and they've already kind of felt like the person actually placing the implants was just another part of the process. But if you're, walking them around your office, you're having, taking x-rays with them, if you're in the process the entire time, if you're answering any questions that they have, that's going to be a lot more personal. That's going to be a lot more compelling to pick you over someone else, where it just seems like the dentist is another cog in the machine, if you will. Thank you so much again for watching the video. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Feel free to subscribe if you got some value out of this. If you have any questions about running ads or any marketing headaches that you have, feel free to send an email to me directly and we'll go from there. Anyway, enjoy the rest of your week and I'll talk to you soon.